Younger women are psychologically wired to admire and chase older men. But unfortunately, most older guys, act in a way that pushes younger women away. They make a big mistake that kills attraction completely. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what that mistake is, why it makes women dislike you, and a simple way to avoid making this mistake in the first place. And trust me, once you make this correction, everything changes. Younger women are naturally going to find you more attractive and sexy, and they will try to impress you, chase you, and win you over. So if that sounds good, pay attention and please keep watching. I'm Marni, and from here on out, I am going to be your very own personal wing girl. And every week, I'm going to give you the no BS insider info about what women really want versus what they say they want, plus the most effective methods to win over any woman you like. So just hit that subscribe button now so that you never miss a video. So what's this big mistake that older guys make with younger women? Well, here's what it is. Most older guys act like they're auditioning for the women, not assessing her. They treat the interaction like a job interview where she's the employer and he's the hopeful candidate. They want to prove they're still desirable. They want to show they can keep up. They want to demonstrate that they're charming and they're successful, they're experienced, youthful, relevant. And while that might sound logical on the surface, the reality is this: the moment you try to win her over, you lose your power. Especially as an older man. When a man enters a conversation with a younger woman, trying to be chosen, trying to impress her, flatter her, or convince her of his value, he immediately shifts into a lower status position. He's not attracting, he's auditioning. And women, especially younger women, who get attention constantly, pick up on this energy within seconds. They don't need words to know when a man is chasing for their approval. They feel it in his tone, his pacing, his nervous laughter, the way he over-explains, the way he agrees too quickly, the way he softens or filters himself so he doesn't mess it up. So here's the deal. None of that behavior builds attraction. And you know this if you've been watching my channel, because it does the opposite. Because now the man has placed her on a pedestal, and that pedestal creates an imbalance, and it turns the woman into a prize and the man into a contestant fighting for that prize. And women with options don't respond to that. They don't want yes men. They don't want men who need to be liked. A younger woman's fantasy is to meet a confident older man who is grounded in himself, who knows who he is and owns it. A man who has options, who can assess her and choose her instead of him begging for her to pick him. Unfortunately, it's hard to find an older guy who matches this fantasy because most older men go straight into audition mode. Most older men are so convinced that their age is a disadvantage that they compensate by over-investing, by over-validating, by over-trying. What they don't realize is that their age isn't an issue at all. It's actually an asset that gives them more value in the dating world. The real issue is how they show up in their interactions. When your energy says, I hope I'm enough for you, I hope I'm not too old for you, she's never going to be attracted to you. So how do you avoid going into audition mode and giving away your power when you're in front of a gorgeous younger woman that you really like? Well, let me give you a simple fix that works almost instantly for almost every guy that I've ever given it to. In fact, if you get it right, you can completely flip the script on her and you can make her want to work harder to win you over. Before I dive into chemistry testing, I want to explain one other thing that you're going to need to do as an older man dating younger women. You're going to need to take care of your skin so it doesn't look old and leathery. Chemistry testing can do the heavy lifting, but you still can't look 105. Taking care of your skin is not just for women anymore. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's video sponsor, Tiege Hanley. Tiege Hanley is one of the world's top skincare lines for men and will help you make sure that your skin is clean, it's fresh, it's less wrinkly, and oh so kissable. Tiege Hanley has made taking care of your skin super easy by sending you boxes like this that come with everything that you need to take care of your skin. They have a daily face wash, they have an exfoliating scrub, they have an AM moisturizer with an SPF 20 and a PM moisturizer, and they give you this cute little instruction card that literally tells you everything you need to do and what order you need to do it in. But don't just take my word for it, because they have over 15,000 5-star reviews from customers around the globe. And because Tiege is sponsoring this video, they're offering you an amazing deal. So if you click the first link in the description box, you get 40% off your first skincare system plus a free gift. Plus, as a member member, you're always going to get 20% off for life. So do not wait any longer. Click that first link in the description to start your skincare journey today. Thanks, Tish. So here's how it works. I call this technique chemistry testing. This is where you approach a woman not with the intention to audition for her and get a chance with her, but just to see if she clicks with you as a person, if there's a spark between the two of you. You're not walking in thinking, I hope she likes me, mindset, right? You're there to test her and assess her to see if there's chemistry between the two of you that's worth exploring. Now, making this little shift from auditioning to assessing for chemistry completely changes how you show up. And you got to do this in your head, right? Mindset shift. For instance, when this happens, your body language relaxes, your voice slows down, you get more grounded. You don't feel the need to impress her or say the right thing. So why does this work? Because you're no longer reacting to her, you're observing her. You're evaluating her. And guess what? Women, especially younger women, can feel it instantly. It sends her the signal that you're a man with options and standards, with a backbone. And that turns her on and gets her interested. The way she sees it now, you're that rare kind of guy who's not falling over himself to get her number or land a date like every other schmo that comes her way. You're the kind of confident older man that she secretly hopes to meet but never does, which means all of a sudden she feels like you're the prize and not her. And that makes her lean in and pay attention and put in the work to win you over. And it's just about leading with this new frame. The frame that says, and again, this is a mindset, I'm not here to audition, I'm here to see if we click. In other words, you walk in the director of the movie, not the guy who's begging for a role. This tiny internal shift reshapes your entire vibe and makes you ridiculously attractive to a woman from the moment that you meet her, which also means you take back your power without needing to be flashy, rich, or young, without memorizing lines or using manipulation. Instead, just by showing up with a new focus and a new intention, again, it takes work, it really makes a huge difference. So case in point, I have a client named Rick who had a great experience with a younger woman. Literally days after I taught him this concept, Rick's 50 years old, by the way. He's recently divorced and finally dipping his toes back into dating. And a few weeks ago, he found himself at a jazz lounge downtown sipping a nice drink when he noticed a striking brunette, late 20s, toned, athletic body, laughing with her friends at the bar. He waited for the lull in her conversation, and then he casually approached and he said, hey, I have to ask, are you one of those people who actually knows jazz, or are you just here for the vibe and expensive cocktails? She smirked, definitely the cocktails. You? And he says, I was hoping you'd say jazz, he said, faking disappointment. That would have made this easier. And then she goes, easier? He says, yeah. Keeping very relaxed, good posture. I've got this theory that if a woman listens to real jazz, she probably has a solid sense of humor, decent taste, and won't ask me what time I go to bed because of my age. Okay, she laughed at that, so I've already failed your first test. He shrugged with a playful grin and then said, the night's young, I'll give you a few chances to redeem yourself. And that totally flipped the switch. Instead of selling himself, Rick was playfully assessing and checking if there was a spark of chemistry there. He was using his sense of humor and messing with her to see if she could keep up. Not in a harsh or arrogant way, but in a way that made her intrigued and challenged. So she had to lean in. She had to keep talking. And guess what? About 30 minutes later, Rick walked away with her number and a confirmed date, which, by the way, happened just 2 days later and ended in a fun sleepover at Rick's place. When we talked about this incident on our call, Rick told me that the whole interaction felt so easy and natural that he couldn't believe it. And what's more, the fact that a gorgeous young woman like her would be so excited to talk to him, meet up with him, and even go home with him was mind-blowing. It gave him a boost of confidence that he hadn't felt in years. But here's the thing. Rick's not the only one that this works for. I work with a lot of guys in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s who want to date younger women. And when they make this shift from auditioning to assessing, from selling themselves to her, from minute one to just testing for the chemistry, they see younger women respond to them in a way they never thought was possible. They see the tables turn in real time as the woman begins to invest more in the conversation and chase for their approval. And then it becomes so much easier to lead things forward. So remember, do not audition. Assess. Forget about making her like you. focus on testing her and seeing if there's good enough chemistry. I mean, that's dating, right? That's what works. When you lead from that place, everything gets easier. And I promise you, I really promise you it works. And if you need a little extra help and you really want that upper hand with a woman so she's the one chasing you, here's what I suggest. I want you to go to the link below and check out my best-selling program, The F Formula, which is all about flirting. The F Formula shows you how to naturally build attraction and create sexual connection with a woman without trying too hard or forcing it. It's not about cheesy pickup lines or trickery. This method focuses on scientifically backed attraction triggers that all women respond to on a biological level. Triggers that compel her to start pursuing you. So if you're tired of chasing women and having to do all the work, you have to try this out. There's no fluff, there's no guesswork. It's just a practical system to go from hello to getting her hooked on you in 3 simple steps that any guy can follow. So I want you to go ahead and click the link in the description and have a good look. Literally over 40,000 guys have used this formula and seen life-changing results. Many guys go from being ignored to women to getting dates within days, and I see no reason why it can't do the same for you. So if you want that upper hand with women, this is your chance. So click the link below and check out the F Formula. I promise you are going to absolutely love it. That said, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you found it useful. And as always, I'm gonna see you next week.